the MILF Manifesto. It has been a wild, wild ride and end of 2025. It is January 1st, 2026. I am sitting here from a totally different view. I'm actually on my computer because my goals for 2026 are to be able to actually have you guys on the podcast. And it just like wasn't feasible with my other setup. Like I love being able to kick back on my couch, all the things. But once again, like it's just a different view. Now you actually see the nursery, like the playroom, everything. Not gonna lie, we cleaned up because it's the new year. You see like all the toys, like my husband's like keyboard, like just it's real life coming at you. But today's episode is just talking about the emotional hangover post holidays. So many of us moms are probably all like, what the fuck just happened? Holidays are over. Kids are feral. The house is trashed. I'm just sliding something. The houses are trashed and the dopamine, the magic, the patience, everything is gone. And we as moms are left sad, angry, empty, overstimulated, like beyond belief. And we're like, what the hell? And here we are. It is normal and no one warned us. I understand the magic now that my parents put into making the holiday special, especially my mother. So today's episode is honestly just like the emotional whiplash in the days and weeks post holidays of the overstimulation, the pressure, and like wrapping up all the magic that we put into the holidays. This was my first holiday with two boys, with my two kids, because I was pregnant last Christmas. And to be honest, right before Christmas happened, I like didn't care. I didn't want Christmas to happen. I was beyond over it. My husband had the flu. Then I got the flu. Then my toddler got the flu. And then the baby got the flu. And luckily, by the grace of God, it was like quick. It was short lived. I mean, I'm still recovering because moms don't get a break. And it like happened like the week and a half, 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So like I was sick the weekend before Christmas, and like right before Christmas, and then my kids basically were right behind me. But trying to like rest, do all the things, and also recover while you have the flu was not fun, easy, and my patience, my stress level, I'm still feeling it, to be honest. But it's just like holy crap. Like, I now, after Christmas, it's that weird week between Christmas and New Year's where you have no idea what day it is. You're trying to catch up with family, friends, do all the things. The kids are feral because they're playing with all their new toys. They want to play with each other's toys. And you are just like, oh my God, where are the grandparents? Where are the people? Where are the events that I can just get out and keep my kids busy? But we were also still recovering. So it was just a shit show. And then we had a big blizzard and we got like a foot of snow. So we were stuck in the house with each other for like a week straight. And my husband and I were like ready to lose it. Plus, our kids aren't sleeping through the night because of teething and separation anxiety and just fun toddler bullshit. Okay. So that's where we are. I'm just making sure I stay on my notes because I haven't been doing this in so long. But like, work starts back up for me in a couple of days. I go back to school. Um, Teacher life once again. So it's just trying to find that routine now, yet again, but also like sleeping in late and not having structure, not having routine, and just all the things. It's like chaos. Um, and let me tell you, leading up to today, it was exhausting. Oh, my parents are texting me. The boys are on their way home. That like I don't even know. It was trying to thrive in the chaos and like presents and gifts and toys and clothes and just everything was everywhere. And I looked around my house and I love Christmas. I love the decorations. And like the day after Christmas, I was like, I want my tree down. I want everything done. I didn't. I did it today. I still have some decorations up because I'll have my toddler like help me. And plus I needed a new bin because we have so much shit. But just trying to like now reestablish, okay, like toy recycling. Are we giving stuff away? Are we putting stuff away? Are we like keeping some of the new gifts out, keeping some of the new gifts away, like, how are we doing things? And I have heard, like, people do different things, but I just did, like, a big toy rotation. So I put some stuff away, I put some new stuff out, trying to keep myself organized with, like, bins and, like, zipper pouches and just all the things because I cannot survive and thrive in chaos anymore. It is driving me insane. So, like, things have to have a place. And earlier, like, the playroom was a shit show. Like, we had like, ball pit balls everywhere, trucks, cars, like, things were a like, the kitchen set, the food, everything was everywhere, and I was like, "I can't handle this anymore." So we did a big clean. We do have to vacuum, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. But it's just, like, getting our minds right because if we live in chaos, we are chaotic, I guess. I can't remember the saying off the top of my head, but, like, in a couple of days, it's, like, back to school, back to work, back to the routine, and, like, to be honest, I'm not ready for it. I love being home, I love hanging out with my kids, but I'm also, like, I need time for me. So it was funny, this morning, we had gotten, like, a couple of inches of snow, so, like, drop off with my parents because they take them a couple of times a week, and they were like, like, "This way you guys have some time." And part of me felt guilty because I'm like, "I'm on break. I should be hanging with my kids." And then the other part of me was like, "You will not get anything done. You will be crazed and you need a reset and a recharge. It's day one. Like, you'll have them over the weekend, like, you'll get them later." So it was just one of those mom guilt moments. But I was very productive today. I got a lot done, a lot of like errands and stuff like that, as well as like cleaning up around the house, which was great. But I want to talk about the fact that, like, going into the holidays, so I'm kinda, like, backtracking. It was one of those, like, I mean, maybe it wasn't as bad this year because I was so sick and I just didn't give a fuck, but, like, the comparison of, like, wanting to be perfect, wanting everything to be perfect, like, the perfect pictures, the perfect Christmas cards, the perfect presents, wrapping perfectly, like, all of that, and yes, it did creep up because then I felt super behind when I was, like, wrapping and everything, and then I would forget that I didn't wrap certain stuff because I would hide it in a different area, but just kind of, like, remembering what the whole point is, and it's creating the magic for my kids and for my family and all of that, and we were lucky enough to host Christmas, day at our house with my parents, my in-laws, my brother-in-law, and his girlfriend, and then the kids, and it was nice, it was beautiful, I loved it, but I was, like, burnt out. My social battery was, like, shot. I needed a recharge. I still feel like I need a recharge where I just wanna, like, lay in bed and, like, watch Christmas Netflix movies. Cause like, when I was sick, I had, like, a day. I'm not even gonna lie, and don't come at me, but my husband had, like, 2.5, 3 days where, like, me and the kids were out. The kids were at my parents', my in-laws, with me, like, whatever. I stayed at my parents' with them because I was like, "We can't get sick, like, we can't get sick." Sure enough, like, we all got sick. But, like, he got 2 nights away from everybody, and then I came home, and, like, immediately that night, I, like, was down for the count, and I still had to get up and breastfeed. Still, the days switched because he was sick, so then the day I was, like, in bed dying, fever, chills, like, all of it, I still had to breastfeed. I still had to, like, associate with my kids, and I was so sick, and my toddler was just like, "I just wanna snuggle with mommy, I wanna be with mommy," and I'm like, "I do too, buddy, but I can't afford for you to get sick." Of course he gets sick, but it was one of those where I was like, "Guys, get it so much easier." I was, like, livid. So that added to, like, the holiday stress and, like, overwhelm and the comparison of, like, "What the fuck? Where's my time?" And then wanting to just be present and enjoy it because I'm somebody who, like, gets in my own head. But the whole point of Christmas isn't, like, my kids don't care if the presents are wrapped perfectly. They're happy they're getting presents. They don't care, like, that we have matching pajamas or, like, we have a cool Christmas card. Like, they don't give a shit about any of that. They just care about being home with mommy and daddy and like their brother and like the dog and the grandparents and seeing family and cousins and all of that. And like they're happy to like play with new toys and presents and everything. So it's just like making sure to like recreate that magic that I had as a kid, my husband had as a kid, and now just like redoing it and like making sure that that's special for my kids. And I feel like that's where I felt some pressure this year because it was like, how do I make it special while feeling like shit? But just like being able to like create the magic and make it memorable and like exciting because he's 2.5. I mean, my 9-month-old, he's like, who knows? But my 2.5-year-old, like he's very smart and like he's aware and just kind of like wanting to make it so special and magical for him because like these are memories with your family. But going into 2026, I have so many goals for myself personally, as a professional, with this podcast. Like, there's just so much I want to do, but I have to remind myself to just like not go crazy because it's a new year and like, like, you know how like people get, like, I've been there of setting boundaries for myself, figuring out what makes me happy, what makes me reach, like what helps me recharge. And I think that's a big thing for moms is sitting down, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a week, like make a list for yourself, like what benefits you, what recharges your social battery, what recharges your mom battery. Is it a break from the kids? Is it Netflixing? Is it a date with your spouse? Is it cleaning? Like, what is it? And it could be a culmination of everything. So, kind of like almost like lowering our expectations in January because, like, moms, we just went through hell and back in December because it's making sure we keep the magic of Christmas or whatever holiday we're celebrating alive, keeping the germs out of the house, and trying so hard not to get sick, not to get our families sick because it is like crazy season, making sure we get the gifts, the house is clean, like everything. So just kind of like taking January to like as like a big reset, like resetting the house, resetting our routines, reestablishing things and going for there and just like reclaiming that space, that energy, our sanity, the rest, like reclaiming what we want the new year to bring, especially this month. And it's like, I read a quote that January isn't about glow ups, it's about repairing our nervous system. And I could not agree with it more because like, I know it's like a trending word, like cortisol levels are like, I can feel that my cortisol levels are like probably like up in space right now. It is ridiculous, the overwhelm and overstimulation that I have and just trying to like resettle myself, not be, called mama, babe, whatever. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be anything. I just want to just lay and chill. So that's kind of a boundary that I'm setting. It's like, mama needs some time, whether it's a little bit every night, a weekly thing, a little bit more time, working out. Like those are things that are like non-negotiables for me now going into 2026 because I know that not only that they're good for me mentally and physically, but like they help me recharge. They help me be a better mom, a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter, all the things. So, like, that's what we need to do as moms, reclaim our energy, reclaim our selves, reclaim our sanity, and just kind of make lists on what's going to help us recharge. And then communicating that with your partner, your family, your kids. Like, when I do this, this is what I need, or X, Y, and Z. I'm so happy to be back. I really, really want people on here. So I am trying out this new platform. Yes, this is the look. So I'm not on a super comfy couch anymore, which bums me out, but it is what it is. So like I'm hoping to have some people. I've already had people reach out that want to be on here. So I am looking forward to that new year. Um and just excited to be back. But if you are feeling sad, exhausted, empty, overstimulated, overwhelmed, anything after this holiday season, it does not mean you're a bad mom. It does not mean you're ungrateful. It just means you carried the season on your back, probably tenfold. Like you crushed it, mama. So just be aware and like mindful that like you're doing it. You did well. And it's also like if we're feeling the stress or we're overtired or exhausted, it's because like we were there. We showed up for our kids and for our families. And that's why we're so freaking exhausted. So, January moms don't need resolutions. We need naps, grace, and fewer toys with batteries. more so the sounds. But if you liked this podcast episode, if you related to it in any way, please leave a comment, let me know, subscribe, all the things. And if you are interested in being a guest and have ideas on what we can talk about and bring to the pod sphere, let me know, shoot me a DM, send me an email, send me a text, all the things, because I would love to have you on and talk with you. All right, mamas, reclaim that January MILF energy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.